Good morning, citizens, and welcome back to the verse and back to me just kind of playing the game and doing something fun. Although, I can't say I found the Alliance Aid not fun, but we finished that. If you see my last video, I am done soloing the Alliance Aid missions. I might go back and try to do some of the one-time missions and check out those and see what they're like, but I want to check out some of the new stuff. The new stuff that is contentious to some people, which is the missions that are like hand mining or the salvage missions. Like if I look at the salvage missions, is this a basic one? Yeah. So this one here is go to a mining claim and get a ship approved for salvage, and then bring it to beautiful Glen. The payment for this, I don't know if it's going to be a lot more than what would normally be charged, but it's just kind of like a mining or a salvage mission. But eventually I'm going to think there's going to be ones that are going to be salvaging things like components or weapons specifically. The hand mining one's a little bit different. I'm going to look at this one here. Let's read this one together. Due to changes in our sourcing pipeline, Shubin and his seller is currently looking to purchase a variety of materials from independent miners operating in the area. While selling at a trade hub may net you more competitive price than filling your order, many miners find that strengthening their ties with Shubin to be a wise long-term investment for their career. For a comprehensive list where to find these minerals, consult your mining fundamentals, where to mine. While you're there, feel free to read the Mining Fundamentals basic overview. Okay, so basically saying if you don't know how to mine, go read how to mine. Since it's a purchase order and not a mining contract, you are expected to provide your own equipment. Once you're ready to sell, require materials, deposit them in the freight elevator located at Pinewood on Hurston. Accept this contract, you're assuming any and all risks. So, this is what people are getting kind of annoyed with, this mission here. That it's a mission where you're going to mine, but you have to go and find the stuff. You have to mine the stuff. You're bringing it to a location that they tell you to, and you're making less money. I don't think the issue is, honestly, that mission. I think the issue is that, it's not letting me scroll here, that it's a mission. It's not really a mission. It is more of a, like, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain isn't working. More of an option for salvagers and miners and industry players. Instead of just doing one thing, instead of just mining and selling it somewhere, providing you other places. Did I actually grab that out? There we go. I just delivered it. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to do one of the salvage ones first and try that one out and see what gets you from there. But yeah, I like the idea of having options where if I mine to make money, awesome. But if I mine to make rep, it's giving me the option to use my mining to make rep. I think in a way that's kind of cool. I think that it's not really a mission as much as it's an option. We got ourselves a bright yellow vulture here. Let's check this out. Before we leave, since we're going out salvaging, let's get ourselves... We still got some, what is this, Laranite, box, Bexolite, Laranite. So I could do some more of those missions that were part of, oh, I actually have a bunch of these here. All right, perfect. Why are all those going away? There we go, let's do it this way. Just want to make sure that I had some crews in case I need it. I got plenty of crews there. In fact, I don't need 28 crews. There you go. 11 crews, more than enough. The salvage missions, I'm kind of excited about potentially what these are going to be like. I really haven't looked into the missions. I really haven't watched any videos of anyone else doing these missions, so I don't know if they're what I exactly think they are. But I'm kind of... I used to love... My favorite salvage of all salvage missions was going to get a cutter. Back when that was a really viable thing to do, it was just so fun. Freelancers were kind of the same, because they're both designed relatively the same. Where you go there, you can get to the ship, open it up, and there is some components in to get in there. You unlock the ports, you get those weapons, you shove those in the back, and then you start scraping, and then you start munching, and then you have all those things to sell at different areas. I love to go to Area 18. In Area 18, I could sell the components at dumpers. I could go sell the weapons there. Then I would go to the admin terminal or the TDD terminal and sell whatever I needed to there. It was awesome. Then people, and a lot of them I'm going to blame, even though I am sometimes maybe part of the problem because I am creating content, a lot of content creators, but their main focus was on how to duplicate things and how to kind of cheat the system. And I do some cheese, but the cheese that I do is not about basically breaking the game. It's more like how to get around bugs that are in the game. But any exploit that's going to make you a lot of money, I don't show those. I don't do those because to me, like for instance, in my video for the combat Alliance aid missions, doing them without combat, I think is a little bit of a cheese. Just basically jumping out of a moving ship and taking off in the other one before anyone shoots you wasn't really how that was designed. However, it kind of worked out, and so I think that's totally fine. But duping, I'm totally against that. Any type of glitch to get through a doorway, totally against that. And so dupers really kind of hurt the game and hurt Salvage because CAG, the way they fixed it in their wisdom was to basically, why can't I move this down? Come on. Come on. What if I do this? There we go. What they did is they just nerfed the price of components to the ground. So then, the issue was, any salvager doing a job like a cutter, which used to be an awesome starter job for any salvager wanting to learn how to do this, suddenly became almost impossible because the return on investment wasn't there. You could not salvage a cutter, and unless you scraped every little thing and it was close enough that you weren't using a lot of fuel, you ended up at barely a profit or a slight loss. Salvaging's fun, and it shouldn't be. There should be no thing in Star Citizen that makes you millions of UEC an hour. I don't think that should exist, and in the long run of the game, stuff like that's going to hurt the game. But you should make something. You should make some feeling that you're not, like, you know, digging a hole. So I kind of hope that these salvage missions will be a way to bring the value back to small salvage jobs. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it'll just be more of the same. We'll find out. We're going to go to this salvage claim here. I took the first basic one. This is very similar to the salvage claims that used to happen where you could just buy a ship. There is a cutter or a Star Runner or a Caterpillar. There's something out there. You're going to buy it and you're going to go there. I don't know if this is going to have anything inside it. I'm going to try to get as much out of this as possible. What I need to do is I'm going to have to get some RMC. It says, here's one. Part of this initiative, Keen-Eyed Contractors, delivering recycled material and salvage components to us. So this one might actually want you to bring some salvage components. And I didn't actually look at how much I'm making on this either. 131,000. But it might be more. Maybe you get more for the components. I don't know. We're going to fly over to this and check it out. Kind of a beautiful little jaunt across the system. I love the Vulture. I am one of those people. I think my first introduction to Drake was the Cuddy Black, and it wasn't my thing. It was okay, but it wasn't great. The look of it really is what turned me off. And then I tried using the Cuddy Black and realized the reason why people love it is because it's an awesome ship to fly. Looks-wise, I'm still not a fan of it. Design-wise, I'm still not a fan of it. But other Drake ships, CAG has done really well at making ships that I love. The best starter, in my opinion, out of all the starters, if you're going to start out in the game, would be the Cutter. What a great little ship. It's not, again, the most beautiful ships, but something about it I find charming. And just overall, for the price of basically being close to, and sometimes when on sale, any of the other starters out there, it's awesome. And, where's this ship? There's this way. It's a Titan Renegade. I'm going to put our shields on. What else I like is the Caterpillar. That's probably one of my favorite ships out there. So this is a Titan. I don't think I can get components out of a Titan. Maybe I can, but it's saying components, so maybe it's possible. But we're definitely going to get some cargo and weapons out of here, so we're going to... Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's okay. So we're going to get out of our seat here. You could exit out of the side here instead of going through the ship, but since I'm going to open the rear ramp anyways, and I didn't open it from the pilot seat, I might as well go back. Oh, those ladders. There we go. Now, I show this in another video, but if your mini-map here on the side is square, that means your helmet's on. A really good way to quickly check to make sure that you are ready to go. Make sure you have a multi-tool whenever you're coming to like do a little bit of this work. No cargo. And it said components delivered, but I don't see... Where is components in here? Are they available? Is this a place that we can actually grab components of the ship? Like, I don't know. I don't think you can. First things first, get in the pilot seat. Left Alt K. Left Alt K. There we go. Ports unlocked. That means I can pull the weapons off. There was a change CAG made. I don't know if they fixed it yet, where you can accidentally, quite easily, put this ship into a spin with a tractor beam tool. Hopefully that is less of an issue now, but if so, and you can't aim down the sight anymore. Right click used to be aim down the sight so you could know what you're aiming at, but now you just gotta be a little bit careful when you're getting these things. We're gonna grab the cannons, we're gonna stick them in there. Why not? So this ship has these two cannons and possibly a nose cannon. Yes, perfect. So grab that. Now there might be missiles. If they're oh yeah, there they are. They're not super valuable. You can grab them if you want, but I don't think they sell for a lot. Stop moving. There we go. We'll grab some missiles. In the future, maybe missiles will be like once CG really figures out the economy and claiming no longer restocks your missiles and you have to buy them and they actually cost something to use for the most part. I mean, they really cost... Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Luckily, I can get the ship more or less stopped, but... Where did those missiles go? There they are. And is that a gimbal? It is a gimbal. Alright. I don't know if... Can you still sell gimbals? Are those still a thing? I kind of miss how gimbals used to work in combat. I loved it. But... Oh, now it's... Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, so if there's one there, that means there's got to be one here, right? There we go. Okay, so we got some gimbals too. If you aim at that gimbal while the gun's on the ship, it used to be the case where that gimbal would come off attached to the gun. I don't know if that's still the case. Get all this stuff in here, including some missiles. Oh, missed. There we go. Again, not a big fan of the tractor beam moving a ship, but I guess the engines are off, so it kind of makes sense. All right, just out of force of habit, I find it easier to scrape ships when the ramps are closed, so I'm going to quickly close this ramp. Oh, missed it there. Why is it not closing? Weird. I'm definitely interacting with that. Alright. Well, we'll just ignore that then. Oh, that was definitely the wrong button. There we go. Not very neat. I just kind of hucked everything in there. That's alright. It should stick around and not disappear if we start jumping away. But now we're going to kind of scrape up all of this Renegade. Again, I'm not hoping for big bucks. I think it'll be better. Oh. My whole ship is... There we go. But I am hoping for some fun. And a lot of people kind of deride the Salvage gameplay. To them, it's basically pressure wash simulator. And yeah, but that's fun. I like it. Alright. We're going to try to scrape as good as possible. We have the Sin Scrapers on here. It's just kind of stock. Stock Vulture. We could replace them with something a bit better. There we go. I'm going to put the lights on. Does that help? Maybe a little bit. Alright. And so if you're new to salvaging, look right up here. I'm going to point out a location. And we have 96%, 94%. That's telling you the percentage of that area. If we look at different parts, I'll take my lights off for a second. Different parts of the ship highlight, and it's showing you the percentage of those areas. So these wingtips here, I'm at 13%. So that's when you can tell when it's fully there. 0%, that is fully scraped. We've gotten all the RMC off that. That way, if you're looking at up at this top corner here, where I'm at 76% of salvaging this claim, and this only works on jobs. You don't see that percentage out of 100 on a ship that you're scraping that it's not part of a contract. It just helps you if you go, well, I still have 15%. Where is it? Start looking at that number and seeing how many percents of each area is left, and that'll help you narrow down what part you haven't scraped yet. Looking here, I'm at 0.6 out of 13 SU. That's 13 SU in the buffer. That is not cargo space. And then if I didn't have weapons and missiles or cargo in my Vulture, you can even put more than the regular cargo grid in a Vulture. You can get like 22 if you really want to Tetris it, but 20 is pretty easy. I'm just packing extra boxes all the way around. So you can go out scraping panels and make some pretty good money with a Vulture just by being a little bit inventive with how you store your cargo off of the grid. So we'll kind of scrape here. We're already past the halfway mark as far as what's considered to be 100%. But 100% is not fully 100%. We're going to reach 100% on the job before we're fully done scraping this little ship. And I have to check how much rep we get for this too, if I remember. There's a good chance I won't. Now, you'll notice I'm moving my beam around and not my ship. It's because I hit G for gimbals. If I hit G again, now the beams remain locked and the vulture moves. If I have the beams off to the side here and then I lock my gimbals, the beams stay locked off to the side. So if you want to move the ship, make sure you have everything centered before you G. But I like, personally, using the gimbals this way and then just moving the ship around. You can also, I think it's Alt. Yeah, Alt, mouse wheel up, spreads them so you can see that the two beams are spread apart. Alt, mouse wheel down, brings those beams back together again. And you can see right over here is showing you whether you got them spread out or not. So, oh no, wait, that's max speed. Don't ignore what I just said there. That sets your max speed so that while you're flying, it's like a speed limiter. I don't know where it says on here the spread. Maybe it does somewhere? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. It used to. I think it used to. There is a way also to change the orientation from up and down, left and right, but honestly, you don't tend to need to too much. There we go. We are considered to be at 100% when we got 1.7 SU of salvaged material. The job is done. They want that delivered. 1 SU of recycled material. They don't want the components in this one, which I'm fine with. That means I can sell those guns to somewhere else, or put them on my own ship if they were a gun that I really like. Keep the missiles for a rainy day. But you look here, that looks pretty scraped now. You think, all right, awesome job. Hit G. Let's go to the bottom and just double check. Oop, that was target. That was not light. There we go. And if you look at the bottom, there's all of this to scrape. So let's keep going. Went from 1.6, we're already up to 1.9. We're going to get at least 2 SCU of recycled material. We're at 2.2. Maybe we can get to 3. We'll have to see. Always put in a little extra time, and we can get a little bit of extra money. Very happy with that. As much as this might not be the high excitement of a dogfight, sometimes don't you just want to like know that your work is gonna be worth something at the end of the day, right? How many people would like me to start streaming? Just watch me scrape ships all evening. Go mine some rock minerals. Sit on a mountaintop, watch the sunset. See, this says 11%, 10%, but it's really hard to find those last little bits. So there is a time to like sometimes cut your losses, where the return on waving around might not be worth it. But we got 2.9. I'm going to see if I can get 3. I'm seeing if I can find that last little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to, though. How do I get rid of that? Nope, that's not it. No, how do I... Alright, I'm not going to worry about it. I can't remember how to untarget something, because I usually just switch targets, I never untarget. Someone will tell me in the comments. And by then I will have figured it out by looking at the keybinds later. Come on, get me that 3! I'm looking right here. We're hit 3. So now... That was done. Oh, I was in the wrong mode. That's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to turn off my beam. And... now we're going to go and fracture. I'm glad that this little mark here, the little wheel that fills up, is back. They did remove that for a while. I don't know if it was intentional and they're trying something new, but it's really great that that's back. It just kind of helps out. I'm gonna break this up. That is Alt S, by the way, to switch from scraping to fracture. Now right click turns it from fracture to disintegration. And we just kind of get close enough. And we see here that says minus 18 or 16, I can't tell, minus 14. So we're not getting any pluses, but at least not getting a negative. And we will do the same thing. We're going to get 0.2 SU of the scraps? I can't remember what this is called. Powder? I can't remember what the vulture... There's so many different names for things anymore. This one says minus 14, minus 10. We're not getting... Oh, there we go. There was a plus for a moment. Plus 4, plus 3, plus 4. Plus 6. If we can keep it at plus 5 or 6, that'll be good. Oh, but I bounced it off. So we might kind of miss out a bit. And now we're definitely at negatives again. Oh, what am I doing? See what I've done there? Don't hit it with your ship. Alright, let's just do it the easy way. From a distance. Can I just point out, when I fractured it, it made the skin come back on. Oh, okay, so that'd be kind of a cheesy thing I'm not going to do. But, you can double your RMC on these if it bugs out like that. Fracturing reloaded it. Alright, I could use a tractor beam and grab this, but we're just gonna follow it and chase it like a little puppy. Because I made a huge mistake and rammed into it because I'm talking and looking at my recording and looking at my dog and salvaging at the same time. Basically, we just can't get too close. So we hit it again, but not too far that it resets its disintegration timer. And we're going to just get at least another SU. There we go. Perfect! No problem. Yeah. We've got what we need. We're going to head to the drop-off point. It's going to take a lot of fuel to get there, but we have it. Good. To change, like I said, to change between these two is right-click. To change between fracture disintegration and the mining is left-shift S. Left-shift W goes fracture. Left-shift S is salvage. And, is it? Yeah. So using right-click, you go between the top and bottom. So I have ready grip tractor mode, or braid, and then Alt-A turns off one side, Alt-D turns off the other side. So you can kind of, I can have just the braid scraper, just the ready grip tractor mode, and you can have them both. I tend not to do that because I tend not to have the tractor module on here, which is why I wasn't thinking to use it at first. I usually just have better scrapers and wider scrapers to have an option for both. Let's go. Deliver this. Really close. I didn't realize it was so close. So that's kind of fun. So we're not moving very fast. That's because I was using the mouse wheel. So if we look up here, our top speed for our ship is locked at that speed. Hold Alt, mouse wheel up. Now our top speed is much higher than it was before. So if your ship's suddenly not moving very fast, That's why. Does it have lamps? Ooh, it does. That's kind of neat. Doesn't really help in this situation. I mean, that works better, in my opinion, because it also gives you distances. But it's good to know if we're going to do some salvage in the dark on a planet somewhere. Once we get a bit closer, I'm going to go into this mode again. Give us a higher top speed while we fly up there.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There it is. Ooh. It's on this side? On the other side. It's like they plan. There's some sort of distance calculation done. And if you're close to a hangar, they go, okay, we'll make sure he's on the other side. Right? Is that the plan? We'll fly in there, do a little bit of a rotate, so that we're near our cargo elevator.
Have a pleasant stay.
I could have turned that engines off, but I don't think I need to. We're gonna go this way. First things first, we're gonna move a couple of these things out of the way. Well, they're kind of bouncing around a bit there. That should work. Okay. And they want RMC, correct? One RMC? Let's just do one. Yes, one. It does say that on the top. We'll leave the rest in the buffer for now. Okay, so we're going to do a couple checks before we drop this down. First things first. We have our money here, so we're going to get about 6.67 million after it's done. And who's this from? Adagio Holdings. And they have no rep on there at all right now. Okay. So I can't see if there's any rep. Which I guess means there's none. I'm going to drop this down. Cool. Let's check rep again. There we go. So we've got a little bit of rep with them now. Money-wise, yeah, about 6.67. So we made our 31K, whatever it was. And we're going to make a little bit more money. Now, what I would normally do is just store these somewhere and forget that they ever existed. And keep the buffer full and just start filling up RMC. And then coming back to one location always and storing it all. And once I had a bunch, I'd grab all the guns, grab all the components, put them all together, bring them to one location and sell them all at once. I wouldn't do it on an individual job-by-job basis. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to try doing this all in one go. One non-stop cut. Before I leave, I'm going to need to get a little bit of fuel. Well, it's only going to cost us $750. That's not bad. Definitely don't need any hydrogen. If your ship's rotating and you want it to stop, actually I'll show you. I'll go out here. So let's say my ship is kind of spinning and I'm trying to like aim at something and I'm trying to, you see how it's still drifting. Hold Z and it just brings it to a stop. And basically, if we look at where my mouse is here, it's moving around. If I hold Z, it centers it. Easy way to stop your ship from moving around. We're going to go to Area 18. The reason why is because that is my favorite go-to for selling. Because the TDD and dumpers, and if you're trying to sell stuff at an admin terminal, are all really close. They're all at the same area. It's not showing me. Okay. So if that happens, oh, you know what? Part of it might be that I'm in the wrong mode. But even then, we're going to jump away a little bit. Is that, where is this? There's Herson. Wrong way. We're going to go the other way. It's this one. Microtech. Interesting that those have disappeared on me. Okay. We're going to go slightly off path. Somebody gave me a great tip in one of the last videos I put out, which is if you're trying to get around a planet, jumping to a moon to get around to the other side as opposed to using orbital markers gives you a less of a chance to have somebody set up and try to attack people there. Yeah, I agree, but also I just don't. I personally don't mind putting myself in danger, but if you got a whole ship, let's say, full of something valuable, and you really don't want to get attacked, you're trying to avoid it at all costs, avoid the places that people are going to be like orbital markers, and also avoid places like Seraphim Station, Grim Hex, Everest Harbor tends to be bad. Those places tend to get you attacked more than Orson or Tessa Spaceport or something like that. Let's just go straight to ArcCorp for start out. Why is it not giving me the planet? There it is. We'll start with that. Then we'll say Area 18 after that. I'm going to make that jump. We're going to go sell. $48 gigameters away. Shouldn't be too long. And actually, that's a good point about jumping along known routes. With the current event going on, people know that people are trying to do specific things. So going to locations like Pinewood to buy Bexelite, you're going to potentially run into people getting attacked there. People know that you're going from a refinery to go sell at a specific place. So they might go, well, for instance, I was at HURL2. They might say, that is a good place to find Bexelite. Or so maybe I'm going to set up between there and Microtech where people are trying to sell it, catching people along those routes. It's always good to kind of dogleg, if possible, from one side to another. Again, I'm not super concerned with a lot of interdictions. Usually they're pretty good to deal with. Usually they're not that hard to get away from if it's just a small group. The really hard ones are the ones that are just there to cause destruction and not for profit, and are going to the places where they can do the most damage with, you know, the easiest, I don't want to do anything to ruin someone's day point of view. So not that long ago there was an Idris parked between Nyx and one of the jump gates, and they were just blowing everyone away with a whole bunch of fighters plus the Idris just to destroy ships. There was no piracy going on, there was no robbing going on, just doing it to ruin people's day. That's kind of why I'm avoiding Nyx for the most part now, or using the Glacium Ring jobs to jump away from Nyx and then to the gates, so you're going around the main route. What CG really needs to do is start putting a lot more choices of places you could jump. Different points in the Glacium Ring that are just points that will at least spread out. You don't even have to jump to that point. You just jump slightly towards it, then stop, then turn. really to kind of mess with one group setting up along pretty much the only of 2 routes out of that system. All right, we're coming up. We're at a little over halfway. We're at 18 gigameters here. Once this is done, or this is done now, right? I did finish that. Let's check. Salvage. Now we have this one here wants 4 SU of recycled material. This one has 5. Cool. Wants construction rubble, construction pieces, construction salvage. See, this one I'm confused by. Oh, one of the following. Okay. Because I'm like, you need a reclaimer and a vulture and a salvager if you had to get all of these. But they're saying do at least 10 of these, 15 of these, or 25 of these. This one I think is cool. Get 4 size 4 quantum drives and 4 power plants and bring them to melodic fields. This is what I like. This is not a job where it says go out and get those items. This is saying, hey, you've been salvaging stuff for a while. While you've been salvaging and you've collected these power plants, instead of selling them to one location, bring them to us for a rep. So this is giving salvagers who like to actually salvage a ship, as opposed to just going there, munching it, and flying away. This is giving them a reason to go in those ships and pull those pieces out. You can still take these jobs, which will give you the different claims. And this is a Vanguard. This is a Star Lifter. This one's a Freelancer. The Freelancer is awesome because the Freelancer really easy to get the get the components out, and then save those components and use those to get reps at the other jobs. I think that's cool. I think on the 19th there is an Inside Star Citizen, or Star Citizen Live, I should say, that is going to be talking and taking questions about the industry game loops. I put about 9 questions in there, more than any of the other ones that I've ever done questions for. I've maybe put 1 or 2 in other ones. But there's really some stuff I'd love to know about the industry game loop and where it's going. Some of the questions are kind of like, why is this changed, or what was the thought behind doing something that I don't really think was a good idea. A good example is if I hit tab and there was a signal off to the left or right, it doesn't show up. It only shows up if I'm looking right at it. That was made to make the HUD cleaner for combat, apparently. I think that's what it was said. The woman who was doing the UI design talked about it and said that it was cleaner because that made it better. But it doesn't make it better for mining. It doesn't make it better for rock mining when rock minerals only show up sometimes when you're right over them or just past them or 500 meters away. And if you're not looking right at them, you'll never know that you passed the thing that you've been looking for, half an hour. That hasn't made it better. So I asked why that was maybe a choice, or it might have said, like, is there a way you can, like, make a way to re-engage that because it's better for mining, better for industry. Can't remember what the other ones I talked. Why isn't there more? It's funny. I posted, why isn't there more ships in the wild? There used to be more ships in the wild. Now I don't see any anymore. And then I just saw an 890 in the wild just the other day. We're going. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't really. It's not as red as it normally looks. I don't need to put that on. So I made a post where I don't really see any ships anymore. All of a sudden, saw a ship in the wild. So maybe they are kind of back, at least limited. It doesn't need to be like how it was right when Salvage first came out, where you were honestly finding 890s every like 4 kilometers in the air in Halo and around every station. I asked why salvage jobs were moved so close to the stations. They're now within armistice zones and they can't be salvaged anymore. They used to be like 100 kilometers away. I think that was a lot better. I talked about the nerfing of the components. That was another question. Yeah, but overall, I'm really excited to see what questions actually get asked. I've never had one of my questions asked in one of the Star Citizen Lives. And what questions get asked, and what's the future for some of these missions? Why is it saying vehicle will be impounded? That's not what I want. Leaving restricted area. Okay, that makes no sense. Was it because I was too close to the ground coming over? I should have come straight down? That's interesting. It'd be great if MFDs actually always stayed to the where you had them in whatever mode you were in. I know they're supposed to, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Area 18 is looking very brown today. Don't get me wrong, looking pretty beautiful. As usual, this game just looks super cool, but it's not as bright red as I've seen it. Maybe it's the time of day. It's a cool spaceport. I kind of wish you could kind of just fly over the surface and around the buildings on this planet. Of course, I also wish that you could live in one of the buildings of this planet. I really am not a fan of the idea of living out of a spaceport hangar. I kind of like the idea that maybe you have to go to a spaceport as opposed to starting in your hangar. And that's why I never set my spawn at Area 18. Because starting in the habs in Area 18 is actually preferable to starting in your hangar. Starting your habs means that when you get out of your hab at the start of a play session, I should say, you are right next to the hospital and Dumper's Depot and Astro Armada and Centerpoint and TDD.
Have a pleasant stay.
It's an awesome place to be, but only if you are starting there. If you start in your hangar, it's actually kind of annoying. So I set my start point in Crusader, and that way I don't have to start in a hangar all the time when I come to a place like this, where I'd much rather, when I log in, be in my habs. But I can't wait to have like a house on a planet. That would be great. We don't need to have to take a train to a spaceport. I would love it if houses had little tiny, small sized landing pads outside of them. Think like the rooftop delivery missions that you do in New Babbage. You go from your hab to that landing pad, get in a ship, and if you want a bigger ship, you fly to a hangar. But if you have anything like the size of an Aurora or Pisces or a Cutter, you can just head right into space right from your house. I think that would be awesome. Have the spaceport is where you go get your big ships, or space stations where you get your big ships. But your house, if you want to start, you don't want to take a train, you want to get right into it, you have a Gladius or an Arrow, you're good to go. Like, I think that would be a good compromise for the people that don't like having to do something, versus those that want to like feel like we're playing a game that's not just, 90% of the work is done for you. Which, if you're watching this long, we're now like almost 50 minutes into a video of me salvaging the smallest ship you could imagine, might be you. Why is the... Did I turn text? I wasn't even looking. How long is global chat been on? Why can't I pick this up? There we go. So get this all out. Now, last time I just put one box out, but now we're gonna put all the boxes out. There's only one more of this, but there's two of recycled composites. So rubble will eject, but if we click auto eject, then when we click this one, it's gonna do two of them. There's no way to clear a buffer. That would be kind of a cool thing. I would gladly clear a buffer if it meant losing what was in the buffer. Why is my beam... Why is it aiming at the vulture? There we go. That makes no sense. It's almost like maybe a beam isn't the best for everything. That's what's the issue. This is taking forever to like realize it's there. There we go. Alright, so those are out. But yeah, I'd be gladly get rid of a buffer, because right now that means I got 0.05 recycled material composite. That means I can't make a full SU of construction rubble if I wanted to, because that's taking some of the space. The only way to clear a buffer is to claim your vulture, which is not ideal, honestly. If you just go, clear it and it's gone, you don't get to sell it, but at least you can like get back to whatever state you wanted to be in. That is, in my opinion, more ideal. It should be relatively simple. I should have put that as a question. Maybe I will. One more question before the Star Citizen Live. Why can't you clear a buffer? So I'm going to put all this down. Going to store my ship. Because why not? Now I could take the train. And if I take the train, I would get to Drake Vulture. There it is. I'll get to the city center. But because this is not my home planet, if I log out and log back in, I'd be exactly where I want to be. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't like taking transit, then maybe just log out, log back in is the way for you. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to take the train. Still haven't checked out the new Aurora. I should really do that. I did say the first time I check out the new Aurora, it's going to be in VR. So maybe I'll have to do that. I haven't made any VR videos. I've used VR way back in the day with Vorpex, and then I kind of tried getting some of it running with the native setup when it first came out here. Couldn't get it really to work. So I'm going to have to try again, figure out what I was doing wrong. I just didn't have the time or the energy to figure that out, so. Coming around here, we got two different trains. One over here and one over here. This is the one I want. Both will get you where you're going. Just one takes you around a long route to the Expo Center before getting where you want it to. This one goes the direction I want it to. I love this city. I love these little floating trains. I love being on them. I love watching them go overhead. Oh, I love it. Area 18 is a cool place. I think my home will always be Lorville, at least starting out. Who knows? Maybe I'll find another place eventually. But this is always a close second. New Babbage a close third. Knockoff Bespin, number 4. We're not even going to talk about Pyro places. Pyro places like Checkmate and Ruin Station could potentially be the place for me in the future. But they got to be different. They got to have a little bit of a difference to them. Right now, they're all the same. Like, I can't stand in the center of one of those places and say, oh, I know where I am. Put me in the center of Levski. Put me in Microtech. No matter where you put me, I look around, I know where I am. And probably where in that city I am. But they're just, the Pyro places are identical. Some of the places that aren't even the main starting cities seem identical to me. So, they need to change. And then maybe. Levski's a place that I think would be kind of cool to set up shop in once there's more other locations in Nyx. As a miner, I could see really loving to mine in Levski. I should go mining in the Air and Halo. I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe that'll be an upcoming video. Whenever they have something like the Narasta out and I'm able to get one of those in game, then the Air and Halo is going to be the place for me. Just to spend a few days there and seeing what I can do. So what do you think? Is there any turtles here? First things first, we'll go check. We'll head up Dumpers Depot first. If you are starting out in the Habs in Area 18, which I love for its Blade Runner vibes, they got cool Habs. I like their Habs. I'll say Habs-wise, Orson is probably is the coolest. Area 18, I really like theirs. Levskis are kind of eh. There's one of the cabs going over, or the trains, I mean. Anyways, here's the Habs. You come out of the Habs, straight ahead, the little map. We got Cubby Blast, we got the Kasaba over there, we got a hot dog vendor. If you take a left, you're going to go towards Astro Armada and Dumpers Depot. You take a right, where we just were, to that glowy ball this building that's right behind here, that is where you're going for TDD. I'm going to go this way first. Astro Armada is a good place to get some ships, but I don't need to go there. I'm going to Dumpers Depot, which is right down there. So we're going to go around this corner to the staircase. Excuse me, excuse me. Hello, sir. Excuse me. Ooh, everyone's like moving around here. Not a lot of T-poses these days, but a lot of like scared people. I'm going to check these bins. Ooh, frame rate has just gone to single digits. Hello? Hello? What is happening here? I mean, none of this is good. This is the worst. No turtles, and I can't really do anything because of this frame rate. Alright. This is not something that I am happy about. There we go. Okay, we're going to go to Dumpers Depot. Don't go here, because here is just buying and selling composite material. If you need some for... I guess if you're doing those missions, you just go buy it. It's not really worth it unless you're just trying to buy yourself some rep. I want to go to this station here, though. And we're going to sell... So, the missiles, like I said, they're not worth much. 25 each. Really not worth my time to bring those here. We don't have any components. Ooh, I can sell my turtles. I'm not going to do it, but that's funny. The gimbals, 120 for the 2 gimbals. Which I guess is, you know, something. Again, this used to be worth it. This used to be worth it to, like, strip and sell. But these things that used to be a couple grand actually have gone up. They were less than 100 for a while when CIG really nerfed the price of the ground to deal with people duping just to make money. And that was because people were duplicating expensive weapons and components and then selling them. Selling hundreds of them. Thanks, guys. We're going to sell these. Going to get about 500 for the 2 of those. 450, I guess. And then that nose cannon is 161. Really worthless. So that's why I'm excited about being able to sell those 2 mission givers, and maybe I'll make a little bit more than that. So I could go back up across that walkway. That's where we just were. But we're going to go underneath. We're going to head to TDD. And we're going to see how much money we made on those recycled composite materials and whatever that last thing was. Is it rubble? And then I'll talk a bit about how you can make more money. Ooh, I might not even be able to sell the rubble. Or whatever it's called. I'll explain why if that's not the case. So this is the admin terminals. If you want to go to admin terminals. It's so funny. These doors are always missing. And then we go up here. And these are the admin terminals. Which I don't believe you can sell any of the materials I have here. Yeah, but I have construction material, rubble, and I got composite. Can't sell those here, but you can sell things like fruit there. You can sell some equipment there. You can sell guns and clothing and stuff at Kasaba and Center Mass. So now the doors are back. Every time I come here, the doors are missing. I come through, go upstairs, come back, doors are back. Very interesting. Like, they're stored into the wall, and they don't come out until you pass through them the first time. That's how you can tell if someone's been there or not. We're going to do a really quick check down here. If you're looking for Twitch, I think she's still down here. But there's usually turtles here, but they're also gone. I mean, good luck finding turtles after, you know, the first 12 minutes of a patch. But, yeah, there's Twitch. How's it going, Twitch? Yeah. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later sometime, Twitch. I really think this is a good argument for instancing. People say there shouldn't be instancing because instancing takes away other players from being able to interact with you. And I get that for some things. You shouldn't be able to make yourself totally instanced and safe. But for something like this, one of my biggest pet peeves of most MMOs, Let's take, for instance, I was playing um, uh, Elder Scrolls Online the other day. You go to a mission giver, and it's just like 50 people all milling around and like doing like squatting, like woo, and jumping in front of you, and like it kind of ruins it. It kind of ruins it when you're trying to find somebody who goes like, I've been lost. Finally someone's come by to help me. Well, of course someone's coming by to help you. There's like 50 people around you. I can see with massive server amounts, if they actually start having NPCs again giving more missions as opposed to just take them on mobiGlass, this place, 40 people standing around here talking to Twitch at the same time would suck. It really would suck. So having mission givers like that with like kind of like the equivalent of an airlock right here, where you go through here and you come through and you take a quick elevator to this location, or you open a door and then close it and open another door like an airlock to go talk to Twitch. Only you and the people in the airlock with you seeing her makes it more intimate. It makes it more, yeah, we're meeting in the underground with someone in a crime syndicate. That would be cool. And it's not taking away from other players. It's just basically building immersion for what you're doing. I think that would be pretty awesome. So that would be something I would love to see in the future. Yeah, no turtles. That's all right. So the last thing I was thinking is I've already forgotten. Was it rubble? I think it was rubble. Might need to be refined before I can sell it. So having it stored here might really not help me. I might have to bring it to a refinery, refine it, and sell it. Because if I can sell it here, I'm assuming it's not going to be worth much at all. Refining might be the way to go. So if I can sell it, I'll still sell it anyways. But if it... Ooh, that actually came up faster than things have been in the past. Alright, can't sell the rubble. So rubble's not sellable here. I can probably sell it somewhere, but currently it's... I think I have to refine it before I can sell it. So I'm going to have to take that, bring it to a refinery and refine it. But those two composites is going to make me 12 grand. So that's alright. So that's it. First mission, an hour to make 40 grand. What do you guys think? I think it was kind of fun. It's not the best. It's not for everyone. If you're here just to like grind out and make the most that you can, fast as you can, build up your fleet as big as you can, not for you. If you love just kind of playing as a salvager in the verse, I think that was fun. I loved it. And I think I'm going to do some more of those. I'm going to do a little bit of the missions where you just go and take salvage jobs and collect goods. I'm going to start collecting. I'm going to start making a collection of goods, storing them, say, at Faithful Dream, which is a place I love to set up shop in. And then seeing if I can start doing missions where I'm taking those items and turning them in somewhere else. I'm going to start taking the things like the recycle composite, not that, the rubble I have. I'll be dropping that off at Faithful Dream as well. I'll do some refining of that. And in the future, we'll sell that and make a little bit of money that way. So until next time, head on out there. Do a little bit of salvage. There is a salvage ship in your hangar right now because, ooh, look at this. Because this event, nice armor, guy. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Good for you. So this guy's been doing the missions. Or maybe he's been part of a group that just stands there and waits for everyone else to finish it. I like to think this man wearing that suit is wearing it because he's got a sense of pride. You, buddy, are awesome. Congratulations. And for everyone else taking part, yeah, you got the Salvation in your hangar right now as part of the free fly. So get it out there. Do a little bit of salvage job. See what it's like. You can't put too much in there, but you can put some of the components in that cargo grid in the back, I believe. If not, you can at least do some of the scraping missions. And until next time, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And I hope to see you all soon in the verse. Goodbye, everybody.